Hey everyone, and welcome along. It's great to have your company for today's edition of Meet Your Trading Experts Live and Free. My name is Paul Botterill. I'm the head trader and head of the Actions to Wealth and Online Trading Profits trading teams. Nice to have you on board. Welcome along. And it's a really special show tonight. We're going to talk to my guest tonight, Leon Ho. We'll have Leon in a few minutes. Before we do, I'm going to look. We've got first of all, if you join us on the social media, Mai will keep you up to date with everything that she needs to on the social media. So she will, if you've got any questions, you can put them in there, and she will pass them through to us, and we will deal with that in that way. And look, what I'm going to do, because I've got, and hi everybody, welcome in. Look, because I've got Leon with me, and Leon is literally working as a chief analyst at the moment. And his time is very important. Instead of doing the normal analysis we do of the markets and then coming to Leon, I'm going to go to Leon. Cheers, Leon. I'm ready to go as soon as you can. We'll unmute you. We're going to introduce you in a second. Look, instead of doing this stuff we normally do, the analysis of the market, we're going to go straight to Leon and have a chat with him. After that, we're going to do our draw for our $500 trading account. We're going to do the normal draw for people who come into this competition. We're going to talk about a new event that's coming up on the 21st, 22nd of November. It is a packed up show, but we are going to start off by introducing Leon Ho. Now, I met Leon when I was in Copenhagen. When I moved there, it seems many years ago. I was following my wife's career. And look, the truth was that Denmark was a tough place to be. And my stockbroker, Rowan, told me that he had a friend in Copenhagen, Leon. I met Leon, and I didn't even know he was a trader when I met him. But he's a guy I'd catch up with and have a coffee and talk about the markets. And really those conversations really inspired me to be a trader. Now, at the time, I didn't know a lot about what Leon had done previously or was going to go and do. He was just a guy who knew a bit about markets and was good to talk to. Leon's journey, he's started off as a founding member of the New Zealand Stock Exchange, trader for Saxo Bank, traded his own funds from home, and I met him, I think, still doing huge volume, and then back into the banking sector, and he's worked his way through to a large European bank where he is a chief analyst, I think is the term that we use for him. And in addition to that, I'm just reading my notes here to make sure I've got it all. Leon, are you with us?
Leon, yes, can you hear me? Hi, Paul.
Hey, Leon, how you doing? I appreciate you joining us. I understand that with it being a work day, you can't stay forever, and we can't put you on video at this point. Look, we're going to be able to do that on November 21st, 22nd. We've got you in as part of this new event that we're running. I think it's around 3 o'clock on Sunday for you. We'll have you in for that, and we'll talk more about that a bit later on. Mate, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, it's glad to be on, Paul, and catch up again. It's been a while since you were in Copenhagen, huh? Time flies.
I've got to say, I'd love to get back, mate. I found Copenhagen quite tough work when we were living there, but I look back on it with a lot more fondness now. I'd like to get back and spend a bit of time wandering around those lakes. It was a nice place, Copenhagen, when you got there. Mate, you're still there. How long have you been in Copenhagen?
Now, I've been here almost 17 years. It goes really fast. I've got 2 daughters here. That's why I'm kind of like stuck here. But I can see, people coming to Copenhagen, depends on when they arrive, right? If they arrive in the winter, the mid of winter, it's dark and cold, and it's pretty harsh. But in summer, really I think it's one of the 10 best places in the world. Really nice summer environment, right? And lots of nice events and very international now. Copenhagen's changed a lot in the last few years. We've got people from all over Europe coming in, living in Copenhagen. Lots of businesses coming in. So it's an exciting place to be.
Man, I remember 2 things about Copenhagen. I remember one day riding my bike home from work in the bagel factory, and I don't know what, I'd lost my gloves. It was snowing. My hands were numb from the cold, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? And then you remember those autumn days where the sun came out and people just pile onto the streets and they're sitting in front of the cafes and bars, and everyone's really happy, and it's an amazing place. And as the summer comes along, mate. Yep, after you.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna say it's a really nice place. So your listeners, if there's some time, they should drop by and check out Copenhagen. It's a really nice place to check out. But it's also a place that's kind of like high geared, right? It's like very high tech place, building stuff for the future. So for people to survive here, it needs quite a lot because you need to be at a very high level to kind of cover the cost. The taxation is super high because the welfare state is really great, but you need high tax and high incomes.
But it was a lesson for me, I tell you. When we moved to Copenhagen, my wife was earning about 200,000 US, and we thought it was lots of money. And after 2 months in Copenhagen, we realized we could hardly survive on it.
Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Yeah, same with the tax. But there we go. Helen's been to Copenhagen. Nice. Well, mate, I thought we might start off by talking a little bit about what you did then and now. So one of the things I really like about, look, professionally, there's a couple of things I really like about you. One is that you've been one of what many of our guys are. You've been a retail trader, trading from home, trading your own money, a little bit of investor money, and you've done the commercial side of it. What's the difference between one and the other?
It's interesting because I started off as a stockbroker, and actually I was thinking back. One of the first big hits I got was actually investing in the internet companies when I started out in New Zealand. So that was my first 10-bagger actually in the tech sector. But as the years progressed, I kind of moved more and more towards the commodity sector because, we live in New Zealand, Australia, lots of commodities and lots of miners. So that's what you grow up on. And back then it was Jim Rogers, one of the top hedge fund guys. I wrote 2 or 3 books on commodities, and we caught the boom there. Everything exploded. And so years after that, I'm still, really focused on commodities, waiting for the next run. But I think that there's a huge difference between how retail traders kind of look at it, because we look at it, day to day, how much money is in our account, and it's money for our survival, right? When we look at the big institutions, it's a huge machine, and that machine is just getting bigger and bigger because the small and mid-sized institutions, they are kind of like being squeezed out. You've got State Street running $1 trillion for the ETF funds. You've got BlackRock with huge amounts of money, and it's the cost that kind of beats out the competitors, right? Everybody has to have a low cost to sell their products. So they build giant machineries to run the trading, run the investments. So I think the views are different because they're running so much money, right? They're not going to look at a small event and think, okay, I'm going to focus on this event and try to make some money and make my $1,000 on this or $10,000 on this, right? It's too small to go into that detail, to look at stuff, portfolio level.
Mate, when I met you, I always remember, I thought it was quite funny because when I was in New Zealand, I knew some traders, and they were all trading the London session. So they were all up in the middle of the night trading London. And when I came to Copenhagen, you were trading the Australian stock market. So you're up in the middle of the night in Copenhagen, trading back into the Australian market. Do you think it's important to have a market that you're familiar with and something that you can sort of, you stayed with the Australian market because obviously you knew it well. Do you think it's important to do that?
Yeah, it's quite funny, isn't it? It gives a perspective that all traders need to trade at night.
Well, it's midnight here, and I've still got the charts open.
Yeah, it's kind of like a solitary job as well, right? Because sit there, you're trading your money, and you're there, kind of in front of the screen. There's nobody else that can make a call for you, right? But I think it's important to focus on one market, or focus on the markets that you're good at, and actually keep building up your advantages. And I think this is something I try to cover when we have the conference. How to look at your advantages and really think about it, and constantly think about what is my advantage here compared to the other people. Even though there's big giant machines out there trading flows that are in billions, we still have to look at our advantages. I stuck to the Australian market, which is where I built up. I had connections to the broking world. I knew different broking houses and the analysts there, so I could get a lot of reports and a lot of feedback on what's happening to the different sectors. At the same time, as I've been a broker there for many years, I actually came into a flow where I actually had connections to the institutional side. So my account had institutional level commissions, which is much lower. That's a huge advantage compared to a retail guy, right? So as I built up my advantages there, I stuck with that market. I realized if I went into a much stronger market, like the US, for example, you got really low commissions, but everybody's got low commissions, right? You can get lots of information, and the information is actually so much that you don't have an advantage anymore. Whereas in Australia, there's lots of miners who are trying to struggle to kind of stay afloat, expand. They need to get capital. You can ring up the CEO, talk to them. You can ring up the analysts and talk to them. So you have some, I won't say inside information, but if you dig around and you do your work, you have an advantage to the guy who switches on the computer and says, "I'll make a trade in 5 minutes," right? You you know the market better than the average Joe. So you have a little bit of advantage there.
Yeah, mate. I remember in the time before I left New Zealand, Rowan, your friend and our mutual friend, he was running a share club with for us, and there's a few of us in it. It was my first run into it, and I think we put in $250 and $100 a month, and Rowan was doing the same thing. He just seemed to know everybody in the industry, and we just spent 3 or 4 years just one step in front. And if you can find an edge in someone who knows the people, and again, just to be clear, completely above board, no dodgy insider trader, but he just knew all the CEOs and he just knew what was happening and how to take advantage of it. It was a massive advantage for us when we were learning, really.
Yeah, I think even industry knowledge is a huge advantage, right? If you can ring up a CEO or the next in charge and talk to them about what are the key drivers for that business, the key drivers for the industry, you start to learn a lot about the industry, right? If I took up the phone and rang somebody in the US and say, hey, I want to talk to the CEO, they'll hang up on me, right?
Yeah,
but in Australia and New Zealand, you still get that chance, and we learn huge amounts of information from them. Like, if you're looking at retail, what's the key driver there? And you're looking at mining, what is the strip ratio, for example, all different things. So you start to understand when the report comes out and says, they start talking about certain things, you think, okay, this is the nothing, or this is a fundamental change to the business. This is quite important, right? So even learning that, you start to learn how to trade when the news comes out, because if you don't get that opportunity, you're kind of trading blind, right?
Yeah, look, I think you are, and it's one of the things that I never used to understand there, and you used to tell me that retail traders trade in the dark. I didn't really know what you meant, and now, we're getting our guys to look at COT data and seasonals, and we're telling them that if all you're doing is looking at a chart and taking a trade, you're not a great chance of success. You actually need to have a bias, you need to have some information. With Forex, it's hard to get a fundamental edge, but if you can have a fundamental bias, it really happens. And with what you were saying, one of the truths for me is that one of the reasons that trading is a bit challenging at times is because you need to learn a wide variety of things, but then you need to find your edge. And some of the best Forex traders I've ever seen just trade the London Open, and or just trade the US Open, or just trade oil from 4 to 6 p.m. And they've got really tight, they've really nailed down what they're good at, and they just do it over and over again and get better and better at it. And the journey is to get the knowledge to be good enough at it, and then to specialize somewhere and to become exceptionally good at it, right?
Yeah, it's the same with every other business, right? If you think about it, and I love the food business, for example. The hawker guy in Singapore, he makes the same food, simple dish, constantly, and he makes a ton of money on that because he's so good at it, right? And if he goes off and does 10 different things and 20 different things, sooner or later he gets to a point where he's actually good at nothing and nobody comes to his restaurant anymore. And I think the same with trading as well. But we should be good at stuff and try to build it up slowly, right? And I was thinking about McDonald's, for example. You go in there, you order your lunch. Some guy comes in there and says, I just want a milkshake, or I want some French fries or some nuggets, right? They have that as well. So if you want to trade for a living, you can't just say, I've got just this one thing and it makes money, great, right? That's your core business. But you need to build it up for days when you don't have the same pattern. What you're going to do, you're going to sit there and you sit there for the 8 hours or 7 hours trading, right? But you need to make use of those hours because that's your income over the year. So if you're sitting there for 7 hours and only making money for the first half hour, you lost the 6.5 hours. Yes, you can do research, and that's where you should be doing your research, finding more ways to make money, looking at the patterns and looking at the market, and maybe find, number 2, number 3, number 4, different things you can build on, right? But like you said, you just don't build on them overnight. You find the number 2 thing and you do it over and over again and make money on that as well. Then you add another one, right? So it's kind of progressive. So then you can trade the news, you can short, you can short some paper if it's going down and it has the right pattern. You can trade the open if the market was strong, for example, all different ways to trade it, different ways to make money, and you start to be better and better at it, right?
Yeah, I like what you're saying. Look, I do want to remind you guys, Leon Ho's our featured guest today. He is going to be a feature speaker at the New Opportunities Expo for us on November 22nd at 3:30 p.m. Singapore. We'll give you a timetable. So we're doing a soft launch for that later on today. We'll give you a chance to be part of the soft launch, the first people to register for that event in the world. We'll give you a little bit of a look at the possible speaker lineup, etc., a bit later on in the show. And we will confirm all that stuff and do a full launch on Monday next week. But you guys will be the first chance, not only to register for it, But no, Leon is not related to Justin, but it's a good question. Leon is from New Zealand, and I'm reasonably sure that Justin is not from New Zealand. You'll get a chance not only to register for it, but to become the first affiliates for it, and a chance to get other people to come along to this event and to make some money from it. Leon, one of the things you touched on there that I really liked, right? And again, do let me know when time runs out, because I know you're literally working right now, and I appreciate you being with us. But we talked about the day and about you could do some analysis. But for you, if a trader works 40 hours a week, these are the full-time guys, the Lloyds of this world, working 40 hours a week. Julian, how much time is trading and how much time is research analysis?
I would say, actually, one of the things I wanted to touch upon, and it's actually from one of the traders I learned from a book, actually, because you read lots of books trying to find new ideas, and this is one of the market wizards, can we say, and he talked about when he started out, he stood at the New York Exchange when there was people still trading on the floor and everything. He was a very young guy. He was there the whole time, every single minute when the market was open, right? Just looking at patterns. Why is it, when the Dow's moving up, what other conditions are around that's making the price move, right? And learning to spot these patterns. And as he learned that, he said, if you work 9 to 5 like a normal job, right? If you're there the whole time the market's open and you keep watching the patterns, you start to see where you can make money, and you start to learn that, right? I think that's super important, that we should remember that we need to be there when it's open. I think I've been late once in my life as a trader to the market open. And that's crazy when I think about it, because when you're working, you think, oh, when can I take a holiday? When can I take a sick day? But when you're working for yourself and you're a trader, the market opens, ain't going to wait for you. You have to be there on the spot. And the days when I'm not there is actually when I've decided to take time off, like whole block, 2-3 weeks off, or I've been sick. But otherwise, when I'm working, every minute when the market's open, I'm there. And you could do stuff on the side, but then you probably do stuff after the market closes. And I'm usually doing stuff probably an hour before the market even opens, because you're checking, what are the conditions in the other markets? What has the ADRs done overseas? If you, for example, could see some of the banking sector go really well in Japan, they go really well in Europe, you can expect those Aussie banks to do maybe well that day as well, right? And you can see what is the news flow in the banking sector, for example. So you do a lot of preparation work, and I had a matrix tracking different things, right? And trying to learn more patterns, right? Is the nickel stocks going up today because not just the nickel price, but are there any other factors that's affecting that for today? So if you don't do the work, you're not going to learn the stuff yourself, right? No one's going to come and tell you, oh, look at this pattern, right? You have to spot it. And the funny thing is, I was talking to a friend who's also been trading for many years, and he said that now he's also got a job working for a financial institution. And he said that it seems we feel like we're working a lot more today when you turn up to work. But when you're trading, actually you're working a hell of a lot more hours, but you don't feel like it. It's kind of like a job, but it's kind of like a hobby, and it's kind of like a fun thing to do. And you're doing lots of research, and you're thinking about it constantly after the market closes, and you're researching stuff, but you don't take it as though it's work. It's just the perspective of how you're approaching it, right? So we'll be working a lot more hours, but we don't count it. And I think when the market's open, that's when you feel like you're actually kind of working, right?
Yeah, mate. I think that's one of the things. Trading's one of those things that does just stay in your brain, right? Markets open, markets close. It does just stay in your brain. I like the thing about doing the analysis, and I think one of the things that for mine just comes with experience, and there's no other way of doing it. We did a US election show yesterday, and we were talking in the market, and I was saying that the market had gone up and it was clearly pulling back, and what that meant was that while the media was telling me that Trump was going to win, the markets hadn't brought it. Something had changed, and about an hour later, we started to see it come through the news services that Biden was back in the race, because early on it looked like Trump had won it, right? And it's only experience that tells you that that's not just price action and a standard retracement and blah blah blah. That inside that kind of event, all that's driving it is the election. And when it doesn't look right, it's because it's not right. And you only learn that from spending time in front of charts. And look, we teach people to trade, and I say this clearly to people, right? We teach people to trade in 10 minutes a day and 15 minutes a day. And you can trade in 10 to 15 minutes a day, but you cannot learn the market and master it in 10 to 15 minutes a day. At some stage, you've got to do your time in front of charts. And as you say, Leon, just watch charts. And for me, And your guy at the exchange is a great example of this, that when you don't have money in the market, you see the market with different eyes to when you do. And sometimes just watching markets go, when you've got no money in them, you see stuff in a different perspective that you call back on later on. That's hugely important to your trading.
Yeah, exactly. It's all that preparation work, right? Nowadays, I'm still looking at the market 3 hours a day at least, even though I've got a full-time job, and just building up stuff and learning stuff for when I need to use it, right? And you're constantly improving your kind of viewpoints on the market. And I saw somebody ask about a double dip recession, and also you talked about election. It's kind of interesting, right? As we're going into election, the thing that struck me was that the markets hate uncertainty, right? If we've got uncertainty from the election, the markets should go down. And that's what I think it was kind of priced into the Dow. It started to fall a bit, right? And then as the elections came closer, it started to rally, and we have 3 days of superb rallies in the market. It's kind of crazy. And I don't like to say it, but for me, what the market is kind of saying that if Trump has a shot at it, it's going to be actually quite good. They don't really care who the president is. I think it's kind of worked out that there's going to be lots of liquidity after this election. When things settle down, they're going to pump a lot of money into the market. Both sides just want to get money out, right? The worst thing is they don't have a government, and it drags on, and Trump starts making lawsuits, and nothing comes out of this whole thing. And that uncertainty is going to be bad for the share price, right? It's going to go down. But as we're now seeing, either Biden's going to clearly win, and that's case closed, right? The market just goes up. But also when I talk to people, I've been to conferences with the Indian ministers recently, right? And looking at some of the numbers in the background, I think people should look at not just election, but stuff in the background. As like you said, don't trade in the dark. You need to trade with context, right? Looking at the background, you can see that India said that most of the industries have surpassed now the January highs. So we had, the economies are growing. January was great. We had COVID come. From March onwards, things started to get locked down and they started to crash down, right? And we had a big fall then. If you look at Apple stock, for example, all the tech stocks, they've way past the January, they've gone up from the lows. They're past the January highs. Now they're making all new highs. They're not even close to the lows. It's same with the economy in India, for example. The minister was saying that, the steel amount that they're using, it's at record highs. The cement being used for construction is at record highs. So he can see that the construction sector is not that bad. It's coming back alive, even though they've got 2 million cases of COVID in India. And they're super bullish about the economy. I said, if there was no COVID, we would be exploding right now. And there was a comment from actually the transport minister and, all the Indian ministers at the conference, right? They were so bullish. I thought, shit, we think Corona is really bad. Everything is locked down, but we look at the numbers. If you have the overview to look at the numbers, you can get a sense that the economy wants to go. And you can see like Flight Center, for example, they announced yesterday that their corporate sector is actually not doing that bad. And by the end of the year, they might get back to break even or profit, right? They're seeing a strong comeback, and their surveys are showing that people want to travel. Once things open up again, people are going to go. In Denmark, we've got lockdowns and we've got another restriction now, right? But when people get a chance, the restaurants are packed. On Friday, I tried to get a booking at a place I thought would be dead, completely full. Then my girlfriend said, why don't we call this place way out, right? 20 minutes from the center of the city, there's definitely going to be places, right? Luckily, we called because when we got there, we got the last table. So Friday night, even with the lockdown, completely packed. People are just wanting to go out and spend the money, right? So I think there's lots of pent-up kind of demand and pent-up kind of economic activity that will come once Corona lifts off. And the question is, when is that going to lift off, right?
Yeah, look, Leon, I think New Zealand's a great example of that. When COVID left this country, we were locked down for about, I think, 6 weeks. And, I can tell you that retailers were ahead of their numbers for the same time last year within 6 weeks. 6 weeks after lockdown, they were ahead of their numbers. They'd done more than, more money in the 6 weeks than done the 12 weeks the year before. And that, same thing here. I've got an Airbnb in Awakuni, and last month you couldn't get it for a day. You couldn't get it, and it's insane, the internal marketing again. Boy, I'm as a guy that wants to travel, I'm hoping to be back in Asia in January, but I think when this is over, you can expect airfares to be double. You can expect accommodation to be double because everyone wants to travel, and we are going to see all of this stuff come back.
Yeah, and the supply side has been dead, right? Because everybody who's been building up Airbnb kind of business, right? They completely stopped, and they're worried that they could survive. Same with the miners, right? They're trying to raise capital and get mines started, and nothing's happening. So all the supply side has been stopped and put aside. Airlines have shut down. Now we've got less flights, right? I'm trying to book a flight on Ryanair. They had flights every day to once a week to now completely scrapped to the whole December. It's gone. So you don't have that, right? And I think one of the biggest airlines in Europe, for example, the discount airlines, Norwegian, they've come down by 90%. That's how much traffic they've lost. So they've sold the planes, right? And like a lot of people are saying, once these businesses shut down or they cut down, they can't just come back. It takes a long while. And when the demand is there right away, then there's no supply. Then you're going to have a problem, right? I think looking at the backdrop like that, the market is just, poised to go higher over time, right? And you've got tons of liquidity going to come.
Oh, Leon, I've got to say that's so the truth. This is just a timing exercise, isn't it?
Yes.
These markets are complete buys. It's just a matter if you get your timing right. Look, I think we're going to, I'll talk two different conversations. We're going to see markets post-COVID go to levels we've never seen them before. We're going to see commodities do that, I'd expect. And it doesn't mean you can buy them today, but there will be a day to buy them. And, there's going to be a huge amount of money from the people who get it right. And the analysts, people who make those decisions about, when, that is really the game from here. It is really a win game. Actually, I noticed you were talking about the US election a bit earlier, Leon. I've noticed NASDAQ and S&P both up strongly today and yesterday. And it seems to me the market finally worked it out, right? That if Trump's in power, there's going to be a truckload of stimulus that's going to be good for them. If Biden's in power, there's going to be a truckload of stimulus that's going to be good for them. And if it can't be decided, if it's undecided, it's not going to stay like that forever. Someone's going to win, and they're going to pile a truckload of stimulus in, and eventually it's going to be okay. And there's been some really aggressive buying. It's been interesting to watch, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's why you see I'm tracking Bitcoin all the time as a proxy for real money, right? And Bitcoin slowly edging up from 11,000 to 12, 13. Now it's going 14 plus,
14
right?
too, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. So that's a real proxy for real money that doesn't get printed. The fake money gets printed all the time, and there's more and more of it. That's why Bitcoin keeps going up. And it's just going to keep going like that, right? And the share market is the same as well, because you don't have more shares all the time. Companies, of course, can issue shares, but it's kind of stable, right? So the more money gets pumped in the market, it has to go up. And you're not getting anything for bonds. I was shocked because we do a lot of bonds as an asset manager. Bonds are like the stable if you're managing money, right? You can't get any returns. And when we book redemptions every quarter, some of the redemptions are booked against negative coupons because there's negative interest rates, right? So when you're holding bonds, you're getting like nearly zero returns. And it's shocking to see actually a lot of the government bonds now are priced at negative interest. So if you're a fund manager, you can't buy them. So you have to put them in some place that generates some kind of return. And it's bad enough for a fund manager, but just imagine the pension guys. They promise people their pension returns over 30 years at, let's say, 5% and 6%. And even today, when I'm doing my pension plan with, my pension provider, which actually services financial people, right? Yeah. And they've got a target for the end of the 30 years. You're going to live on so much money. We're going to pay you out this, right? And then I asked them the question, because I've been a financial planner in New Zealand as well, right? As a stockbroker, you do that side as well. And I asked them, what's this based on, right? What kind of returns do you need every year to hit this lump sum at the end so you can take the money out and pay me this money? Well, yeah, it's around 6-7%, like 6-7% in this market, right? If you're managing a lot of money, that's pretty hard to do consistently for a pension fund guy. Well, and I looked at the pension funds in Denmark, right? They're hitting 4%.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty hard to do anywhere where you can't take any risk with the money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you've got no bonds. The bonds are paying you nothing. So you've got to take a risk in the share market, right? And as a pension fund struggle to meet the return targets, they're going to end up buying more and more shares or going to more risky assets just to cover that, right? That's why you're going to see the markets keep going up if they keep pumping money, because when they pump money, it's not at no cost. The pumping goes at a lower and lower yield, right? So the more money comes out, the yield keeps dropping. Then the money goes somewhere else.
Mate, do you follow? Is it MMT, modern monetary theory?
Yeah, it's crazy. I hate it.
It's just wow, and it's one of those things, Leon, that it's got genuine followers. The modern monetary theory basically says that central banks should just print money and give it to us for whatever we want to spend on. And one of the things that is going to bring inflation, even the MMT people say it's going to bring inflation, and it's going to have its day. I have a feeling. I don't think you're going to convince politicians that they don't like it when they can just put whatever money they want to buy everything they want, so they can bribe the public for more votes. I think MMT is coming, and it's a different kind of theory to the one that I always taught in economics.
Yeah, it's a sad playbook, right? Unfortunately, it's a playbook that all central banks have kind of learned now, and they're kind of doing it and they're doing it without public consultation, which is kind of scary, right?
Yes.
And this is our futures, like our children's money they're playing with, and they're issuing debt to cover this. And we've seen in 1 year, some of the countries, they've issued so much debt it's worth about 20% of their GDP.
Yeah,
So
sorry, actually.
No, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's worse than that, Leon. I think what they're doing at the moment is they're changing the natural cycles of markets. Right now, markets should be tumbling and house prices should be tumbling. And the truth is, and it's an unfortunate truth, that people should be being hurt financially and it should be difficult. But that the next generation of investors and the next generation of homeowners should be having the opportunity. And by artificially pushing all these markets up, they are taking their future away from the kids, because there's no way in. And if they're going to artificially inflate the market every time it starts to pull back, there'll never be a way in. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a sad thing for the pensioners who want to have a yield for their retirement. They save the money, but now the yield's gone, right? So when they expected 4 or 5% on the capital that they saved, they don't have that anymore. So they have to kind of eat away at the capital much faster, right? The students coming out, they're really stuffed because they need a huge deposit to get in the first home they're going to buy. And those homes are going further and further up the chain, right? It's getting more expensive for them. So they're losing out as well. So the old people, young people, they're completely losing out. The people who don't have money in the share market or Bitcoin or something else, if you don't have an asset, you're losing out as well, because things are getting inflated out there, right? You go out and you can see in your shopping, the cucumber, my mom said, telling me in New Zealand that the cucumber is going up in price. The milk's going up in price. You see in Denmark as well. People are starting to realize this, right? And I've got friends who are not doing anything because Denmark is a socialist country, right? They're getting checked to sit at home when they actually can get a job and do something, but it's not the perfect job, right? And they're saying, this MMT is great. Government's just giving you money. I said, like, yeah, it's great for now, but when everything you buy doubles in price, you won't be coming back and saying it's so great anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I've become much more a socialist in Denmark. I think, it's important to support people who don't have the opportunity and have hard times. But at the same time, there's a cost to it, and we need to recognize this cost, and we need to talk about it in society. And that discussion is not happening, and governments are just using their power to print money and taking away our savings, right? I mean, I could see my bank account, for example. I could buy a house in the past with just the cash. That doesn't buy a house anymore in New Zealand because house prices are double and triple.
Oh, mate, so house prices here out my house. The new valuations have just come out in my place, and honestly, financial literacy amazes me, Leon. I've been in a chat group with all my neighbours. They're complaining their house prices have gone up 35%, and what a bad thing that is. I'm like, not completely bad, guys. We might have some good parts to it. Mate, it's interesting, isn't it? This printing money thing. And look, guys, my guest today is Leon Ho. He's the chief analyst for a major European bank, and he is with us today, and he'll be back on the 22nd of November for an hour at 3:30 as part of the New Opportunities Expo. We're doing a soft launch for that during this hour. We'll give you guys a chance to register for it and to register as affiliates to get your friends into it. We'll take you a run through some of the speakers. We are going to get the web page tidied up a little bit, but we'll give you a bit of a look at that. Leon, also on the ECB Advisory Committee for Financial Structuring. Boy, mate, you've come a long way, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm surprised I got even there. It's just quite funny because, I went to a meeting that day and we're discussing how they should structure financial products in the EU. And here I am from New Zealand. I'm not even a European. Bit of a joke. Yeah. But nice talking to you, Paul. I'll catch up. We'll catch up soon again, eh?
Mate, thanks. I appreciate the time in your workday, Leon. I really do. Thank you very much. We'll see you on Sunday, the 22nd in the New Opportunities Expo. Thank you for your time, and we will talk to you as next time you're free. And mate, once again, thanks very much. Mate, I saw someone talk about Tivoli and the Glog. Someone talk about Northborough. I think I used to work opposite Northborough Station for a little while. Northborough Station.
Northborough Station, yes.
Cheers, mate.
You're still
Thank
there.
You.
Yeah, nice catching up, Paul. Thanks for the times. Enjoyable as usual.
Cheers, mate. Love to have a chat, mate. We'll talk again soon, and we'll talk to you on the 22nd when you come and do that time in the Opportunities Expo. Thank you,
Yes.
Leon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for turning up and doing this, guys. We are still in the show. We've got a lot to do yet. We are very appreciative of Leon for his chance to come in and talk about these things. It's great to get more high-level people coming and sharing their knowledge with you, and some really valuable stuff there. I think about doing your work and about finding your edge and continuing to do your edge. And look, Leon's one of those guys. He reminds me a lot of guys like Ash, the guys that just that live it. They love it and they live it. So great to have him along. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to continue. I'm going to do a little bit of market analysis. Before I do that, I think we're going to do the soft launch for the New Opportunities Expo. I'm going to get Mai to put the registration page for that into the chat so you can register for that. Amazing event this. Look, we've had a lot of people recently ask us whether we can bring some people back. And I don't really like bringing people back that have spoken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a 2-day event, the New Opportunities Expo. Click on the link. It's a soft launch, that webpage that you're going to have a look at. Yes, it's pretty cool, isn't it, Alexis? You can click on the link. You can be the first people to register for the New Opportunities Expo. We've got more than 20 speakers coming in over those 2 days. They're going to talk to you about all things trading. They're also going to talk to you about business stuff. They're going to talk to you about basic financial literacy. We've got all kinds of people coming in, and you can have a look at some of the speakers. I've got to tell you that timetable is not finalized. We just wanted to give you guys a chance to have a bit of a look at who's coming. And for those that want to, you can log in and get an affiliate code. You can nice, Alexis, thank you. You can click on the on an affiliate link, and you can become the first people to promote this. And I need to tell you the rules. You can't take our clients as affiliates, but during the 2 days of the New Opportunity Expo, we are going to have a bunch of people come in and talk to you guys about different things. I'm going to do this in 2 different ways. I'm going to share about this. We're still doing the $500 draw. That is coming up, the $500 draw that is coming up. I'm just going to see if I can get Zoom to be nice to me and to share this screen. Where's the Zoom control panel gone? There we go. Look, if you click on this, you'll get a bit of a run through some of the speakers. I had a look at it today, and some of the speaker times need a tidy up. So there's some speakers there. You guys will see Gary, Justin's in, Shukri will be in. We'll have Nick, who does our internet stuff for us, Georgianus Basda, talking about trading with the mind of Christ. Rest will be in doing options. Ainsley will be in talking about her stuff. I'll be doing risk-free tradings. We've got Ray in doing seasonals. We've got Leon, and not at that time. I will get this timetables tidied up. It was supposed to be tidied up before we got to this today. I do apologize for it. Orlando, he'll be in. We will have Justin back, Ainsley, Julian, Roscoe. This is Mark Carrington. This is just needs to be tidied up. Look, we'll have a few feature speakers, and we will get them to you. Look, if you do register for this, what you are able to do is you can book now. You can put your details in here. It may not take mine because I registered earlier as a practice. Well, gosh. It'll take you to this page here saying you're registered to attend. And if you'd like to be a affiliate, here's a link. So you can then click on this link and share the stuff. And anybody that joins under your link, anything that they spend with us, you will get 20% of that. So look, I know a lot of people, there'll be some people that would love to be an affiliate just to take the money, and there'll be some people that would be an affiliate just to spread the word. Look, in addition to Leon, who's speaking around 3:30 on Sunday, and I will get that timetable tidied up for you. Our other feature speaker, Michael Bourne, is another exceptional speaker. Michael Bourne, look, if his life wasn't, if he was a normal guy, his life would be an amazing story. He comes out of reasonable poverty. He set up his own company. He's built it through. He's now, I'm just going to say incredibly wealthy. I'm not going to use terms like millionaire, billionaire. I'm just going to say he's an incredibly wealthy man, self-made completely, runs a couple of large companies. His company was in the Forbes 200 best companies under $1 billion 2 years in a row. And he's done that blind in one eye and 80% blind in the other. It's a truly inspirational story. He's a great friend. He's a guy. I said to him when I was speaking to him, I said, you know, Michael, I can't pay you what you're worth to come and speak at an event like this. And he said, that's cool, Paul. Just next time we're in Bali, buy me a bottle of wine and a meal, we'll have a dinner. You can bring Shane along. He lets me bring Shane along. You know, my mate, Shane from Bali. Just a wonderful man. And to have done what he's done and to be and like Leon, you know, I really like them, not because they are particularly successful. That's nice. But I love that they're just normal people and they're down to earth and you can just ring them and have a chat. It's really cool. I think this New Opportunities Expo, we're going to try. But we're aware that there are people that really need to pivot their lives. And for some of our people, some of the stuff they'll have seen before, they can pick the parts they want to have a look at. And the people that wanted Andrew brought back, we're going to bring Andrew back. The people that wanted the 10 times program with Justin back, we're going to bring that back. You know, the people who want to hear more from Julian, we're going to do more of that for you guys. We're going to bring in the Leons and the Michaels in this thing. But we also know there's a lot of people with COVID who need to pivot, who are looking for something different. And we're going to talk about basic financial literacy, the stuff that if you lose your job, you need to be able to budget. You need to be able to do a financial plan. And we're going to make sure that's available to you in this expo. We're going to talk about business and how to get your business to run, the guy that helped me to find Angel and Mai who's in this room right now. Angel, many of you have heard from Angel, who basically runs a role as my VA, but really just helps us run the business nowadays. The guy that helped me to find my virtual staff, he's going to come and talk to you guys about how to find virtual staff. If you've got a business, how you can use these people to run your business more efficiently. If you're looking to have a passion business, like this is a passion business, you know, I love trading, so I share about trading. And part of that is finding people like Angel and Mike who can do all of the work, because really I don't like the work. I love the trading. I love chatting with you guys, but I need other people to come in and make it organized and run efficiently for me. And we're going to have people come in and tell you, if you're trying to do that stuff, this is how you do it. And in addition to that, we're going to do a lot of amazing trading stuff. I think Andrew's program is possibly the most popular program we've run in 8 years, 9 years, however long we've been doing this now, where the people who are on it just love it. And we're going to have him come back and look, even for Andrew, right? He actually can't do that weekend, so he's going to record something and put it in. It'll be the only recorded content of the day. But I'm not missing out on having him because you guys really want him. And so the New Opportunities Expo is underway November 21, 22. Look, we'll be going from around 8:45 in the morning to around 9 p.m. at night. We've still got some speakers to run. We'll be tidying up that timetable and we'll get it to you guys by Monday. Hopefully we'll be tidy up on it tomorrow because it's not quite what I wanted it to be. But I'll get Angel to fix that tomorrow because she's amazing at it. So look, this is our soft launch for the New Opportunities Expo. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I've got maybe an hour I can fit into that day here and there. And here's what I'm going to say to you guys. If there's something you think you need right now, and look, I don't care whether they've got a product to sell or no product to sell. I just care about whether they're going to bring something that can help some people. If there's something you need, let us know. And I'll go and see if I can find a person that can bring that to this event for us. What I really want is an event that will have something for most people. People whose lives are going well, they can invest some money somewhere. And people who want to become better traders, we're going to do that. We're going to make sure that the seasonal stuff's done with Ray. We're going to make sure different approaches to trading is done. We're going to make sure guys who want to do business have got some help with getting on with that. But if there's something else that you would really like, click in now and let me know, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that that is done for you guys. For me, the New Opportunities Expo is a very low margin event. We're not looking to make truckloads of money out of it. Hey, cheers. Look, Helen, coming to the opportunity, listening to the speakers costs nothing. Great questions, guys. Great questions, guys. So what's it cost to come to the New Opportunities Expo? It costs nothing. Just come along, listen to what you want to listen to. And for you, Helen, you're a great example. You might go, well, look, I've heard this and I've heard this. I'm going to have an hour off for there and there. But that would be interesting. That would be interesting. I want to hear Andrew because I missed him last time. Blah, whatever it is for you. But come and spend 2 days and block them out and spend a bit of time with us. And listening is free. And what will happen is that some people, Leon, Michael, there's no products. It just went bang. What just went bang? Is my house on fire? Anyway, hopefully my house isn't on fire. Something just went bang here. I don't know what it was. turtles look to be okay. I think we're okay. I don't have a cat. I've got a dog. I've got a dog, 2 turtles, 2 tortoises, 5 chickens. That is, oh yeah, 2 kids. I love the kids, but there's a lot going on here. Vikram, what do you mean by Paul laundry list of websites, key KPIs, charts to follow on? Okay. Oh, I love that. And I was going to ask, look, I ran out of time. I was going to ask Leon for that. A laundry list of websites, key KPIs, charts to follow on this expo will be great. Look, I'm going to ask people who better look up safe. Thanks, Dennis. I really like that. So we're going to ask people. One of the things that Leon did for me, and look, I used to sit around and chat about trading with Leon. I used to say to him, "Can you teach me?" And he would just say to me, "I can't teach you. It's subconscious. I just do what I do. I can't explain it to you." And look, it took me a couple of weeks to understand he was real about that. He couldn't do it. But what he said to me is, he said, "I can recommend some books to you, and you go away and read those books, and you'll be fine." And that's what I did. You know. Vikram's asking for a laundry list of websites, key KPIs, charts to follow on this text. Will be great. Look, we will have for you, if you're looking for, we'll have people sharing with you the things that they use to be successful. I noticed Leon talking about Market Wizards. You know, if you're looking for something to read, start off with New Market Wizards. If there's anything else you guys want, let me know and I'll put it in there. Please, I'm going to ask you guys, the web page isn't perfect, but register, get in the program, come along, block out those 2 days. As I say, there's going to be a combination of people that some of our people will have seen before and some people that are new. Look, there's stuff from George on, I call it faith-based trading. And George is using his faith as a compass for trading, not around making decisions on what he buys and sells, but on dealing with the greed and the fear of it and how to have a faith-based, pure approach to that stuff. And look, I've got to say, no offense, but it's not for me. But I can see how that's for some people and how they'll love it and how people who are connected in that way, it'll make a difference for them. And that's why we've got George coming along. Look, it'll be a great day. Michael Bourne is an amazing speaker. And as I say, he's an amazing businessman. And yeah, he's just a good bloke. He really is. Every time I go to Bourne, I have a meal with him and catch up. And you just hear some fantastic stories. And he is just a good man. So come and join us. If you have any questions on the Opportunities Expo, then let me know. Otherwise, click on the link and register for it, and we will welcome you along. And grab an affiliate link, put it up, and tell your friends to come along and register too. On the Opportunities Expo, we'll also be doing the next 2 draws for the free $500 accounts. One of those will be a draw by draw, and one of those will be the person with the most points in the competition. If you haven't registered for that, we will have that competition back up again next Monday, and we'll be drawing on the 21st, where you can win a free trading account. Go to Online Trading Profits Facebook page, and you will see an entry thing there. I don't think it's live right now, but it'll be live again by Monday, I can tell you that. If you have any questions, drop them in the questions box, be it on Facebook, YouTube, or in the room, and I will get to it for you guys as soon as I can. Now, look, I have a couple of things left to do for today. I'm just checking the time. I'm okay for time. Mai's not telling me off anywhere, which I really like. Sitting over here, Biden's still at 253 over here. I'm seeing him. We still haven't got him to 270. Can't be too long away. Great session last night, guys. I really enjoyed the election thing. Look, what I would like to do is I'm going to open up for a few minutes for any questions that you guys have got. And if you have any questions on be it the Opportunities Expo, anything from the interview with Leon, anything else you want to ask me about Forex trading, whack in the box and we will do that. For those of you that are doing Ping Knee's course on Saturday, there'll be more information about oil trading and Ping Knee coming up tomorrow as well. I will ask the team to make sure that gets another promo for those that have want to sign up. Good numbers in that course for a first time event for us. Ping Knee's looking forward very much to delivering. If you have any questions, put them in the box. In the meantime, I'm going to do a quick market analysis. I'm going to do a quick run through like we do most days on the charts. When I come back, we're going to announce the winner of the $500 trading account. And after that, I am going to look. Hang on a second, Dennis. We'll come to that in a second. I'm also going to give away today the person who's here at the end. We will do the lucky draw, and someone who's in the room. I'm sorry if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're welcome to attend the show, but you can't be in the lucky draw. You've actually got to click on the link and register and come into the show if you want to get the prize. The prize today is 1 month's free analysis with Orlando. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on as well. I think the lesson of Orlando is a really good lesson. I want to talk about his journey in the last 6 months and why for me it's so important. And we've had an analyst in today, Leon, who's both an analyst and a trader, and I want to talk a little bit about how that's psychologically different. So we'll touch on that a little bit later on as well. Now, somebody has sent me a free download to New Market Wizards, and Dennis, if you can tell me that is legal, I will happily forward it to people. But in respect of Mark Swalger, I won't forward that out if it's not legal. Sometimes these things are done as promos, but I don't want to forward that stuff out. Apart from anything else, it's just inappropriate for me to do that as someone who works in the industry. Yeah, I think I know if you don't know, Dennis. I think for now we will hold on to that link. And look, guys, I really encourage you. Jack Swalger spent a while writing those books, and they're $30, guys. If you can't invest $30 in your trading, then it's one of the things. Trading's like anything else. You're going to need to invest in it to really get the result that you want to get. Good evening, Oliver. How you doing? Nice. Welcome along. Look, I'm going to have a look at some charts, and we'll roll through that. We'll do the draw for who won the $500 account. We will give away Orlando's analysis group. I will encourage you guys, please, we'll be talking about New Opportunities Expo. My guest on the show next week is Ray Gilmore. He'll be talking seasonality. He's doing seasonality in the New Opportunity Expo. So Ray Gilmore is my guest next week. Make sure you stay registered and turn up for that. Right, let's have a look at some charts. Interesting times for one of these charts. I'm going to see if I can make Zoom do the sharing thing it's supposed to do. Look at this. Zoom at its best. Wow. So I think that the charts are interesting at the moment. I'm going to just. Hey George, welcome along. Hey everybody, nice to have you guys along. I know there's a lot of people in for the first and the 10th and whatever time it is. Welcome along. Look, I'm going to jump off camera on the microphone for about 10 seconds. I've had a feeling I'm going to cough. Then I'm going to be back and we're going to get into this. Wait me a second. We are back and we're going to have a look at some charts and in some detail. I think I am. Yep, I'm all good there. Just going to head down. If you've got any questions or anything, let me know. Look, I think the most interesting chart today is gold. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in my mind. This is today, which would be Thursday, Wednesday, which would be election day. And look, interesting time for gold for mine. And I might blow this up. Just a pattern that I really like. So gold's been stuck a little bit between the lower triangle that used to sit in here and this 100 moving average. And really, we had monthly pivot running through here. And we had this 100 moving average, and gold has just stayed in the middle and gone absolutely nowhere. But for mine, this is significant. We've seen a run at it. We've seen a break. We've seen a retest. And look, I don't like the break very much, but I do like the retest and the close on the new triangle, and then bang. And for mine, as long as we're above this, triangle here, as long as we can put a trend line through there, through that point there, and we're above it, I'm bullish on gold. I think the run on gold might be back on, and I'll be keeping an eye on it. I hope Ainsley's into gold right now. I have a feeling that we are well back into it. Targets on gold, well, I think I'll be looking around 1973. Look, you've got a little bit. If you've been in it for a while, you might take a little bit of money around 1930, a little bit more around 1970. And obviously, 2000 is clearly a target in this, and above that's a bit of gravy from here. I have a feeling we might be about to see the next run in gold. Newest elections are different, and more seasonally, we mightn't be at the right time for that yet. It might start early this year with that in mind. Now, Bitcoin, we heard Leon talk about Bitcoin, and look, we've been talking about this since this triangle formed, and talking about this consolidation and getting out of it and getting here and getting here. We talked about this being an up channel the other day, and that above it we were bullish. And again, we've broken out. And look, I would never buy the high of a candle. But if I was going to, it would be right now. We can look for pullbacks on this. We may see pullbacks on shorter time frames. Not a lot, to be fair. I think you've got to find out a pullback on a shorter time frame and buy that. It might be worth the risk of just jumping straight into this. It's very rare, I would say that. But really, if this is going to rally on Biden might win and Trump might win, I think it'll rally for sure on Biden has won or Trump has won. So I do see Bitcoin, and there's some really juicy targets on Bitcoin too. I'll see if I can bring this in. Look, we've broken this level here, right? So this, if this is our all-time high, this is our second high, and we've managed to sneak through it. Tested it yesterday, smashed through it today, and really, there's not much target up here till we get back up to, we get back up around these numbers here. I don't know if I quite want to get there, but boy, 19,000, not a lot. I mean, you could say there's a little bit, a little bit around 780, somewhere around there, but really not a lot of stuff in the way, and a move up in Bitcoin looks pretty good to me. Look, the NASDAQ as well, it pushed up on the news that Trump was going to look like winning, pulled back sharply, and then just took off again. They're talking on CNN, and what they're saying right now is that nothing's changed. And as I've been saying for a while, big buying day yesterday. Important for this, right? You've got to understand your markets. This is a big buying day on the worst result that we could have got. All the market wanted yesterday was a winner, and we didn't get it, and it still brought up. Very bullish for mine. Again, if you're in NASDAQ, we've got we're sort of getting towards these this target and the next target. And while I might take the risk on Bitcoin, I would not buy NASDAQ on the top, but I'd be looking for pullbacks on a 4-hour chart. Possibly if I could get a pullback to 11,700, I'd be pretty happy. It's I think it's kind of cool. We did talk about some short side targets. We got pretty close. Double bottom, high low, big move up. I'm expecting all-time highs in the next couple of weeks. Perhaps not just yet, but I'll be looking to buy the dips in the NASDAQ. S&P, similar story in S&P. This is out of play now. We'll just bring it through here. Again, I've got a higher low. I've got a higher low formed. You guys can see I've got some buying, and the stop loss. I've got some buying at around 2,800 and around 3,000 on this. Big buying day. Did a big buying day going in. It did appear that people just got over it and decided no matter what they were going to buy. And again, nice easy targets for us here. If you're long this, we're looking at 3,540 and probably for me around 3,580 as the next targets to the top side, and pretty easy trading if you're in them. And if you're not in it, you're just looking for a pullback. And I think this is one of those occasions where as a trader, you need to be able to trade the reality. If you're waiting for a 67 fib retracement here, I think the chance of that happening in the next day is pretty low. There need to be something really unusual in the results, maybe some Trump legal stuff, some suggestion that the whole world's, tell you what, if Trump wants to come out tomorrow and say, actually, these postal votes are illegal and we've got a case, that we would have a potentially an undemocratically elected president of the US, that might stomp us around a bit. But really, I'm pretty bullish on this, and I'll be looking to buy the pullbacks on the S&P. Oil, disappointing really, straight back into this range. We have told you before, this is the gap from February, and we have seen it stay inside this gap for some time now. I'll try that a bit later on. I don't love it being back in here. It stayed in a very tight range for a period of time in here, and we will watch and see. For mine, we've certainly got a lower low. We could put in a lower high and use it as a bearish signal, but really, I can't get short on this now until we get back below these previous lows through here. In the meantime, I'll be out of oil at this point. Euro dollar, another one, bouncing off a 100-day moving average on a horizontal level, came down, tested them perfectly, bounced away. Election day, well, a bit of a messy bar, but straight back into the buying and straight back into the long-term range on the euro too. And similar kind of feelings for it, is it coming out the top? Well, maybe it is, but I need some pretty clear signals before I want to trade it inside this range. So really for mine, I will wait and see on the euro as we go along. Dollar yen, testing the lows, and these are long-term lows, and I wouldn't be at all surprised. See dollar yen have another crack down here. Got the Kiwi here. Going to give it out to a daily chart. Now, a lot of talk about Kiwi weakness, but that still looks pretty solid. His is hanging around some previous levels, and we do have a clear level not far away. For me, not really enough space to trade into that. I'd need to see a bounce short of that to get short, or a clear break of that to get long. So that's a little bit of market analysis for you guys before we get into the other stuff. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back. Actually, I'll leave a chart up. I might leave the gold chart up. That's a pretty bullish chart. I do like it, and I do think when you have a look at this, gold suggests we've got US dollar weakness. Bitcoin suggests we've got US dollar weakness. NASDAQ suggests US dollar weakness. S&P suggests US dollar weakness. Oil suggests we've had some US dollar weakness. Euro dollar. Euro's on the way up. Dollar's on the way down. Dollar weakness. Dollar yen. Dollar weakness. Right now, this is a dollar weakness story. And one of the things I really like about it is it's consistent. It's not like some of that stuff we saw positioning for elections where we just saw everything come down and money perhaps exiting the market. This looks like US dollar weakness is the play. And I guess with where we are in the world, that makes some sense. And, one thing we know is that there is stimulus coming from either party, and that stimulus and modern monetary theory, if you like, can weaken a currency. And that could well be a forward play on that really as much as anything else in the market right now. And US dollar weakness is something we could keep a bit of an eye on. Right, I'm going to ask Mai if she would mind now. How many of you were in the room because you entered the competition to win the $500? The $500 trading account. Someone asked how to be, congratulations. Someone asked how to be a part of this. And if you're asking how to be a part of our organization, then just go to one of the Facebook's Actions to Wealth or Online Trading Profits. And look, if you want to join this, if you go to Online Trading Profits /Facebook, I think might have put that Facebook address in the chat room soon as well. You can always register for this. We've got a $500 account up for grabs. We've had it for some time. We've done our first draw, and I'm going to get my 18,000 in Georgia now. Getting time. I'm going to get Mai to put that link into the chat and let you guys know who our first winner of a $500 trading account is. Now, what we're going to do is on November 21 and November 22 as part of the New Opportunities Expo, we're going to do another draw, and we're going to give our highest points winner a prize as well. Now, in this competition, if you go to the page and click on the link, you register, you get points. And if you do other things, you register and you get points. And the more points you get, the more chances you get to be in the draw and to win the money. Sorry, Mike. Can you first of all, could you do two things for me? Could you post the winner of the $500 account, please? Could you post the winner of the $500 account, please? And I'll talk a bit about how that works in a few minutes, but if you could post it. And then if you could post a link to online Trading Profits Facebook, if you could do that as well. Look, the winner is, I'm going to say it's Rubilai Ransimo Ponce. Now, I apologize for my pronunciation of that name, which is almost certainly, it is competition number 2133, and we have an email address. We'll be making an effort to contact Rubilai Ransimo Ponce, and if they don't reply within a week, then we will do another draw, but we will contact them on, we'll post it in social media, we will contact them directly, and we will get this $500 US trading account to them not far away. And if you want to enter for that competition at some point, if you click on Facebook Online Trading Profits, the pinned post, Online Trading Profits, the pinned post, the first post, I need to view as a visitor. Sorry, guys. The pinned post is win a $500 trading account. Click on the link at the bottom, sign up at the bottom, and we will get you into that. Now, I'm not sure it's live right now. We have given the competition a bit of a break for a couple of days, but I would think you would still register through. Let me know if that is the case or if that is not the case. Now, I realize that I've just done this without sharing my screen. You guys should be able to see that now. Down, there you go. There you go. Rightio, I'm going to jump out of that and now share my screen back into the charts. And look, what I'd like to do for you guys right now, as much as I can, is I'd like to open up for any questions that you guys have got. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll hang around for 5 minutes. Then we will give away the session into Orlando's analysis group. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Look, it's really important to understand your own psychology. Yep, that's how you access Oliver. Yep. It's really important to understand your own psychology. Literally a couple of months ago, I had to say to Orlando, look, you're doing a trade call group for us and we've got to stop it because it's just not going very well, Orlando. You're just not making any money. And I want you to focus on what you're really good at. I want you to focus on market analysis. And for the last 3 months, Orlando's done nothing but market analysis. Now, don't get me wrong, he's traded. What he hasn't done is told other people how to trade. He's just done market analysis. Now, in that time, his account has gone up stunningly. I think he's making certainly over 5% a month while he's been doing it, well over, I would say, while he's been doing that. And it's one of the things that sometimes as a trader, you've just sort of got to understand what works for you. Now, Orlando's a very good trader, but he is an amazing market analyst. And when he focuses on being a market analyst for you guys and sharing that stuff and just doing his trading, it works. And psychologically, it works for him. When he's past putting trades out, he feels the heat and the pressure of that. And Leon said, work out what you're good at and do it over and over again. And that's what Orlando's done. We've taken away, send out trade calls, and we've made it do some analysis and share your analysis. Let people decide for themselves. He'll give you some levels. But you decide where you buy and where you sell. But if you take his direction and trade like he's trading, you make a truckload of money. We're going to give away 1 month's access to his analysis at the end of the show in a few minutes. So I've got no questions. If I get no more questions, I'm going to have to wind her up. But I think my message was that you've got to find out, you've got to work out for yourself what works in trading, and you've really got to commit to it, and you've got to have no ego. One thing I really like was when I said to Orlando, hey, mate, we've just got to stop this. I can't charge for this, mate. It's just no good. He didn't say, no, I want to do this and I'll fix it. He said, fair enough. What have I got to do? And look, we've had some coaching with him over the last couple of months and spent some time with him. And, put an arm around and give him some support, I guess. And we have inside the team, obviously, a lot of support available, But it's amazing how much just a change in mindset can make a massive difference. There will be a winner who'll get a chance to do Orlando's analysis broadcast group that has much stuff sent out. And I do remind you, sometimes trading just requires nearly ready, I am nearly ready. Thank you for that. I'm pleased that you're ready. I'm going to open this up again. I'm going to give you guys, look, I like to try and be as available as I possibly can from a time point of view, but I can't always be around to answer your questions. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat box and I will do my best to answer them for you. Cheers, Fad. Nice to see you, buddy. Cheers. Thank you. Look, I think I'm going to jump out of here. Mike, when's the next show? We have changed the timetabling around, haven't we? I've stayed at 7, and now we've got Ash and Jeff at 9:15. There's just a possibility Ash might miss that show tonight, but Ash and Jeff are due for 9:15. Does that mean that I've got someone at 8:20? I've got Orlando, interesting enough. Orlando and Ash supposed to be up for tea and hot sauce. I need to make sure that they are both around. Are they in at 8:15? What time does that start, Mike? Next week is 9:15. Tea and hot sauce should be on before that. 8:30? I'll find out what's going on with that if it's not. 9:15 for Ash and Jeff. Okay. If you could just make a note, Maya, and let the team know that there's to be tea and hot sauce from next week that is supposed to be running from today. Rightio, I don't think I can do any more. I don't think I can do any more padding here while I'm waiting for questions. It is time for a draw for a winner for Orlando's Orlando's analysis for a month. Mike, if you can grab the screen and bring up the Wheel of Fortune, we will see who's going to be our winner. Rightio, let's click it and see who's going to be our winner. Click to spin. We're going to click this. Who wants to win this? Who wants to win this? 1 month of market analysis from Orlando. It's been amazing the last 3 months. He has been really good. Look at this. Look at this. I think we'll just have to have a redraw. I don't think we can give it to Helen. We'll have a redraw. Helen, are you in the room? You got to be in the room to win it. You got it. Helen, I thought you'd be in the room for sure. Helen, are you in the room? Helen, you got to be in the room. I haven't heard from Helen. I'm not sure Helen's in the room. We've got to hear from Helen for her to be the winner. If Helen doesn't speak to me in the next 10 or 15 seconds, we're going to do a redraw. We are going to do a redraw. I think we'll do a We're not really doing a redraw. Helen's said she said she's here. So winner of Orlando's broadcast group is Helen. Helen, I will pass that information on to James. James is on leave tomorrow. He's got a day off. We've got a quiet weekend with Ping These event and nothing else. So James is having a bit of an extended break. The man's in and been working pretty hard. So he'll be back on Monday and he'll organise to get you into Orlando's group Monday, Tuesday. Tea and Hot's also be back next Thursday. In fact, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from next week. I appreciate the changes to the times, guys. We've had US Daylight Savings coming this week, which is why the US session show has been pushed back a little bit with Ash and Jeff. Thanks, thanks you guys for joining us today. I love doing the show, and I really like it when we can connect with people like Leon. Look, it doesn't matter how long I've known them and you know how much I like them and all that stuff. It takes generous people to come on these things and do this stuff. It really does, and people are prepared to share what they know, and they're good people. And I really appreciate his time and the learning. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to Expo and a chance to share more information from him, bringing people to you. You know, you guys get access to us reasonably regularly. Bringing some people in that are different and can provide that level of information. I'm really looking forward to it. And I was, when I was speaking the other day, so excited about what he's going to share and what he's going to bring for you guys. It's neat to have people who just really want to help other people. If you want to suggest trading books for beginners, I would suggest the Turtle Trading book. And I would what's it called? Leanne, are you here? Can you type it in for me? The stockbroker book. What's it called, guys? Memoirs of a Stockbroker. Gosh, I never read of that. To participate in the draw for the $500 trading account, we will do more on that for you guys next week. Can I suggest good trading books for you? There's a lot of books that talk about trading without charts, right? And Market Wizards is really good for mindset. The Way of the Turtle is a really good overall trading book. It's a good read. A lot of people read Trading in the Zone. I think I fell asleep 20 times reading that book. It's terrible, but there's some valuable stuff in there, and this is part of trading. Sometimes you just got to read through the crap to get to the good stuff. If you want a chart book and you are more advanced, then I would suggest Price Action Bar by Bar in a Trend by Al Brooks. Al's an exceptional teacher, a really good trader, and actually we won't have him in the Opportunity Expo in November, but I imagine we'll get Al into. Fantastic. Thanks, Leon. Reminiscence of a Stock Operator is the book that Leon recommended to me all those years ago. Great starting place. The Al Brooks stuff, Trend Trading Bar by Bar by Al Brooks. There we go. Here we go. By Jesse Livermore. Of a Stock Operator is a 1923 Romana Cliff by American author Edwin Leverve. That's told in the first person by a character inspired by the life of stock trader Jesse Livermore up to that point. Historically, the best trader in the past. Nice. Leon has posted that in. for you guys. And straight to you guys as well, so you can read that stuff. About 100 million in the 1929 crash. If you put inflation on that, I would hate to think how much money that is 100 years later. My gosh. So there is a recommendation for you guys. Again, in addition to that, there's The Way of the Turtles, and there is The Way of the Turtles. Trying to think of his name as well. It'll come back to me. It always does. And Jack Swelger. Gosh, it is late in New Zealand. My brain must be gone. Google Jack Swelger, and he has done 2 books. Oh, God. Legend. Oh, I can't look. It's gone. Google Jack Swelger. Nice. William O'Neill. Okay. Some books. Look, I think these things are, honestly, I think it's really hard to find a good chart trading book. The Disciplined Trader, suggested by Gary. Fantastic. How to Make Money in the Markets by the founder of IBD, William O'Neill. Step by step how to do it. That sounds like a really good place to be. We've got Gary saying The Disciplined Trader. We've got Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. We've got The Way of the Turtle by, God, it's gone. And we've got Market Wizards by Jack Swelger and New Market Wizards by Jack Swelger. I like that. I don't read a lot of trading books anymore. I find that they get in my head. So I don't read a lot of trading books anymore, but I might have a look at that, Leon. It does sound really good. And when you can find one that is really good, it's pretty cool. Okay, guys, despite the fact that there are no more shows until 9:15. I am going to call it a night tonight and have a break, go and get some sleep. Thanks for coming there tonight, everybody. Have a good night. And remember, guys, it's about staying calm and making good decisions. And it's about doing that if you're winning. It's about doing that if you're losing. It's about doing that if you're thinking about it. Stay calm, make good decisions, and trading does work out. It's when you react and stop making good decisions that the whole thing stops working. Keep learning, keep getting better. Who's the winner? George, we put the winner, we posted him in here ages ago and spoke about him. So the winner of our competition for Orlando was Helen, and the winner of the $500 account was, can you post it again, please, Mai? Cheers, sweetie. I haven't read the Wall Street Liars Poker. I don't quite know what that is, Helen, but I haven't read that for sure. As I was saying, guys, thanks for being with us. See you next week. I'll have Ray Gilmore as my guest next week. He'll be talking seasonal trading, and getting ready for the New Opportunities Expo. If you haven't clicked on the link, click on the link, get to the New Opportunities Expo, register, come along. Cheers, Oliver. I'll have that website updated tomorrow. I'll be up well before you guys are up because I'm in New Zealand, so I'll get it done before you guys do too much tomorrow morning. We'll get the timing sorted out for you guys. We'll get it right, and those buyers tidied up, all that information right, and you can start affiliate connecting your friends. And look, I'm more than happy to pay you 20%, but I'd really appreciate if you guys could start and spread the word. It's going to be a great day or a great couple of days. There's some great speakers and a chance for people to learn a lot of stuff. Get them registered, get them along. Okay, everybody. Cheers. Good night.